We are going to wait one more minute and then we'll start, no? Just in case to give maybe other people the chance to connect, and then we'll start. Okay, so one more minute. Okay, so I think we are ready to start. We are 30 something. I think it's enough to start. So a couple of things, a couple of very important things. So first, are you listening to me? Is this working?
I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes, everything is fine.
Okay, thanks so much.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Also from this side. Then second, super important, check that your name appears in your nick in Zoom. And for example, there's no one called iPhone or something like this, because if not, it will be impossible for us to know who's who. So I'm going to check some names here. For example, there's some Luis C. So hey, we don't know who you are. Or Dorna, also, we don't know who you are. Or Fink IELTS. So impossible. So please change your name so we can identify you. Also, H.Asia. Well, maybe there's not there are not many H.Asia, but please check it. Yeah. So I'm checking names, weird names here. All right. So okay, I'm going to let everybody join directly. Okay, Luis, I see that you have now a name. Fantastic. Welcome to to reality, or whatever, to the bright side of the road, as the song says. Okay, so this is one thing. Then second thing, for those of you who have connected on time, and if not, I will put it again here. Yeah, we have opened some drive, no, in Google, some place, because the plan today is leaving a little bit of time for a final exercise, and this exercise I'll explain you later on. It will be the way to assign you the credits and say that you have attended this lesson. Okay, so we will do a little bit of an exercise within these 2 hours. So we don't want to burden you with more work or something additional. So it will take place during the class, but then you need to upload it, and then we'll check it to provide you with the credits or the certificate of assistance. Everything that is required. All right. Okay. And then one more thing, I will be checking the chat in Zoom. So any question that you might have, also you can use the mic, and talk directly. But any question, any issue, and I will be asking you questions also during the talk. Please use the chat or interact whenever you feel like it. I'm going to share my screen, and then we start. Okay. So this is it. Okay, then I'm going to close this and put the chat somewhere. Okay, under control. Check one more thing. Yeah, fine. Okay, so under control, more or less. I'm going to put also here this. All right. So plan for today. I'm going to explain just very briefly who I am and why I am here with you today. And then basically the talk of today is divided into 3 parts. So in the first part, I will be talking a little bit on innovation. So we are moving from research. This is what you are doing. You are PhD candidates and you are researching, but we'll move from researching to innovation, and I'll try to explain very briefly why this is important with your help. That will be the first part. And then in the second part, we move from innovation into entrepreneurship, and I will be explaining also what your university now, Technical University of Madrid, is doing on entrepreneurship, and also we'll be explaining some basic concepts and basic concepts and why this is important. This will be the second part, and then there will be a third part, as I mentioned, where we are going to work together. And then, if you, I don't think it's going to be a very simple exercise. And the outcome of this exercise, you can upload it in the link that I provided in this drive.google. So then it's completed within the 2 hours and done, and you don't need to worry more on this. But the ideas I'm trying to supply to you, new ideas that will be going around in your head. Okay, I'm seeing Francis. Really, is a little bit scary your picture, but it's fine. It's fine. I was suddenly surprised by your picture in Zoom. Okay, so hopefully you are also in the bright side and not in the dark side with that picture. All right, so we start. So very briefly about me. So maybe the most important one. I'm getting old, so there's a long history. There's a long track record behind me. But maybe the most important thing, I'm the person responsible at university, at Technical University of Madrid, at our university, everything related with entrepreneurship and startups. So I should be the person more or less understanding everything that is going on in entrepreneurship in the university. And so this is also why I'm trying to have this lecture with you, this session together with you. So background, I'm an engineer, and I did my PhD on something very technical, but then I moved into a little bit of economics. And when moving technology into economics, I also launched a spin-off from university. So I was the CEO of that company for more or less 4 years. And then I learned many things. I always say that I learned many things, some of them not good things, but this is when you really learn, when you really learn the not so good things. And since then, I've been co-founder, mentor, super modest business angel of a very long list of companies, of startups, spin-offs in many different places in the world, because also I've been working in 5 continents, and I've been living many years for example, in Asia. So I just came back Spain from China like 2 years and something, because of the pandemic. All right, so I think this is maybe the most interesting. If you want to contact me or whatever, okay, you have there my different ways of reaching me, in either LinkedIn or Twitter or WeChat or by email. Although I must say that not always I'm able to answer the emails I receive, because I might receive too many. Okay, so this is enough about me. I don't have time to ask about you, but also the work I'm going to propose. This exercise, it deals a little bit with what you are doing. So it will be a way of also introducing themselves. You will see that in a while. Okay, so let's go for the first part. And I have a very, very important question for you. So the first part is about innovation. And I would like to know from your side, why do you think innovation is important? Just a single word, just a keyword that you can use. You can maybe write it down in the chat of this session, and I can comment. So what do you think is the most important key concept behind innovation? Which, if you have to use progress, I see Giovanna saying, okay, good. Improvement, Yanni, this I like. Research. This is Ruben, this is what we are going to try to explain. Why innovation is different from research. Development, no? Traditionally, it was like research, development, and then innovation. To be outstanding, I don't know, this is interesting. Can you be an innovator but not outstanding? Can be a little bit in the dark. Advancement, this is connected with progress. Help creating new products, okay. Abdel, that was very good. Creating something new also. This is also makes sense. Future, okay. Limit of new. Luis, you wrote a long sentence, and it's very interesting. No, reaching the limits, new methods, idea, product. Hassan, this is important. Is a new idea innovation, or you need to be practical? There's a difference there. More future. Non-conformist, interesting, no, Santiago? You need to change things, no? Push the limits, no, Carmen? Okay, I see many things coming. You know, I'm going to try to explain you why innovation is super important. Has always been important, and why innovation is even more important. And we will be using most of this concept, and also I will try to clarify some others. So for that, I'm going to use something that is called this, like the virtuous circle of innovation. So I'm going to try to explain you why innovation belongs to something that changes, no, reshapes the world, and why, in fact, these days innovation, and that means also important you, because I will try to explain you how you are part of this innovation. So the world is being reshaped because of innovation. No? Things are changing, and always has been important, but now it's even more important. And probably I see a strange picture coming. Okay, Baram, now I see you. Okay, fine, good. Okay, so let's go for the virtual circle of innovation. I'll explain slowly what this is all about. So you see it's a circle, okay, goes round, and I'm going to start here in this part, no? on the lower left corner. Innovation starts with the application of technology to challenges. Real challenges means challenges that exist now in the real world. So what is innovation? Is applying your research, maybe sometimes research and development, but not research, is applying research. And basically in a university like our university, this means technology. So here we are talking about innovations based on technology, although there could be innovations not related with technology, but here I'm talking basically about innovations connected in a way with technology. So this application of technology needs to be in a real setting, in a real world scenario, not in a theoretical world. This is the difference between innovation and just having ideas. All of us, we have tons of ideas. The key difference, being an innovator, being someone who contributes to innovation, is applying this, is making it real, is making it on practice, trying to do something, implementing this. This is the difference. Ideas, all of us, we have ideas, but the difference is executing these ideas, making them real, implementing the ideas, okay? But this is in terms of innovation, this is technically the part on the generation of innovation, where the innovation starts. This is where you are standing. So your knowledge of technology, in some cases, maybe in most of your cases, can be applied to real challenges. And then is when you start this virtuous circle of innovation. And I'm going to explain why it's a virtuous circle and why it's important. But we are here for now in this initial step, in the step where we generate innovations. Okay. So this is also why I'm going to connect this part with entrepreneurship, and then we are going to try to work on this initial part. Why? Because this is where you are standing, because this we have this connection through technology into innovation, applying this technology to real challenges. Then what next? If we are able to generate really innovation, so applying technology to real challenges, then the second step is this idea of, in terms of innovation, is called dissemination. So you have been able to produce an innovation. Now you need to extend it. So you need others to be aware, to know that this is a possible new way of doing things. This is called, in innovation terminology, in innovation slang, it's called dissemination. So it will be the second step in the innovation circle. And if you want to use more economic jargon, and remember, I'm an engineer, but also I'm an economist, so sometimes I use economic terms, you enter in the world of competitiveness. Competitiveness means simply that because you are able to use an innovation, you can do things better than others. So you are more competitive. So typically you use the same amount of resources, but because you have a different way of using these resources, you are able to do it better than others. This is becoming more competitive. This is the way of competitiveness. This is typically innovations are generated many times in places like universities, like you. Probably some of your PhD work is clearly in the side of generating innovation. I'm completely sure on this. Sometimes also it's companies. It can be public funded, like, for example, this university can be also private funded, like in a company. It can be other places where innovation happens. But competitiveness is typically something more like the industry. A company is looking for competitiveness. It's trying to be better than others. You can also, you can also use the innovations to get some social impact. So not necessarily you need to understand this competitiveness term in purely economics, money terms. You can also think in terms of being more efficient providing public services. For instance, you want to provide education or health or even well-being for the whole society. So you can also use these innovations. So, but it's competitiveness in the sense that you're able to do it better than with previous solutions. Okay. So we are here in the second step. Now what? We move to the third step. In terms of innovation, this third step, it will be called the part on adoption of innovation. This is when you generate the innovation, first step. Second step is extended to some others. That will be the dissemination part. And then in the adoption, it really, everybody thinks, oh, this is the way. This is the way to do new things. So it's being used all over an industry, or all over a country, or all over a region, all over the world. Okay, so because it's clear that there's an advantage in using that way. So the legacy solutions are in a way abandoned, or they stay as in a niche. But in most of the cases, this innovation is used. In economic terms, this is adoption in terms of innovation. So 3 steps in innovation are generation, step number 1, this is where you are standing. Number 2, dissemination, it goes around. Some of your PhD work can help in this dissemination. And lately, for instance, universities, they have started to measure how good are you in dissemination. This, for example, is happening now in Spain. Not only how good are you in research, that was the old world, how good are you generating innovations, okay, this is more or less a standard, but also how good are you transferring this knowledge, disseminating this knowledge into society. Okay, but the third step is this adoption. So everybody is using this innovation. In economic terms, this is called productivity. What does it mean, productivity? Productivity is simply competitiveness, but there's someone with a mic somewhere, a bit of noise. point, maybe I can try to close. Okay, I'm going to, yeah, everybody. All right. So now silence. Okay, we came back to silence. So productivity is simply competitiveness, but sustained in a relatively long period of time. So it means that you're not only competitive for a while, but you're competitive, you're more efficient using the resources in a relatively long time. Then it means you're more productive. Being more productive simply means that for the same amount of resources, you're able to use them better. So you're saving resources or you're getting better results. So in any case, you have like an extra extra benefit, extra income, extra, you name it, or the other way around, you are saving compared to others. And this is sustained. So productivity, if this is more many times like individuals or research groups or something that happens in universities, lately it's difficult that just a single person, an individual, is able to produce an innovation, but it's a small number of people. It can be research, or it can be in a startup, or it can be a lab in a private company. Competitiveness is more like companies, is where these innovations are adopted and used, and then productivity is more like for a whole industry or a sector, no? Or even sometimes even can be a country, no? Who's adopting a particular type of technology, particular type of innovation, approaching things. So this is the third step, and when you move to the fourth, it means how you are using this extra efficiency that you get, that you've got through productivity. So then this is typically at country level. It can be also an industry level, but more typically it's at country level. So this extra can be used for different countries in different. You can become more social and use this for public services like education or healthcare, or you can use it for commercial advantages, giving credits to other or financial markets, and then you build like a financial industry or financial sector that is more efficient than others, or you can become more military. This is in fact what we are seeing these days. The world is increasingly conflicting, clashing on innovation. Why? Especially in innovation based on technology. Why? Because everybody, every company, every industry, and also many countries, they want to use this virtual cycle of innovation. Why? Because they want to achieve some type of leadership. So sadly, instead of cooperating, that it will be good for everybody, we are seeing more like a competition. So I want to be the one who's able to do this virtual cycle of innovation, and not you. No, this is, for example, these days, and I have seen some Chinese surnames here, no, in the list of you, no. So this is the reason. This is the foundations of this conflict, no. So the US. They think, oh, we are the leaders. We don't want China to be the leader, no, in a number of sectors. Why? Because we prefer to be the ones taking decisions. No? This is, and also in the case of Europe, no, for those of you Europeans, we are a little bit in between. And then if you are from other countries, and I see also surnames and names that probably are from other parts of Asia and maybe north part of Africa, then you're also trapped a little bit in between. No? Okay, so what about us? Huh? Is everything going to be decided between China and US, and the rest of us? What happens? No? So all of us, we are looking, no? All countries, industries, many times at the level of companies, using this virtual circle of innovation. And it's a circle because once you achieve this state of leadership, then you are able to attract more talent. Talent means you, and resources. So this circle continues. So talent looks like wants to go where the places where there are some competitive advantages, no? Like places or the sector or the industries where there's some leadership, because this is attractive. So this is why, this is how this is a circle, no? And this is exactly what we are seeing. Where are you? where are we? We are here. We are in this, basically, most of us, I would say the wide majority. We are here researching, or in my case, dealing with this part of the innovation cycle, trying to move from research into this application of technology to real challenges. Of all the possible applications, of all the possible innovations, there are a particular set of innovations that are of higher interest. Is this keyword here called disruptive? Disruptive means something important is going to change. So in this sense, we will have two types of innovation. We will have incremental innovations, that is, okay, we do the things this way, and through my application of technology, I can do it a little bit better. So that's an incremental innovation, a little bit better. But what many people are looking is for disruptions, something that dramatically, greatly, hugely changes the way we are doing things. No? That is, if you're able to produce such a disruptive innovation and then able to disseminate and able to adopt it, because many times there are disruptive innovations that die. No one wants to use because a number of issues beyond the generation. But this is also where there's the highest level of competition, looking for this disruption. No? Okay, so this is the idea. I want to let you know about innovation and explain you that you are here, and this is the part we are going to look into more detail. But we are moving into this from research into this innovation, but you belong, all of us, we belong in an industry, in a company industry, even in a country. Now there's some confrontation going on because of this virtuous cycle of innovation. I like to put, because of my years in China, I like to put examples that are not the typical US or Europe example. I like to put the example from other places, like, for example, China, that I know a little bit, not as I would be Chinese, but a little bit, because I lived there many years. So for instance, in China, there's a planned economy. So things are decided from the top down, and you can check the highest level of this plan, that is the 5-year plans, and this is the latest one that goes 21 to 25. Do you want to know if this virtuous cycle of innovation is real or not? You only need to check these plans. So the word innovation is all over the place, and it's innovation based on technology. So exactly what you are doing. And which are the industries, which are the places where China and everybody thinks there could be this type of disruptive innovation. So the innovation that can create this virtuous circle, you only need to check. So we are talking about IT. So IT means communication, information technology, everything related with bio and new energy. You want more details. So we are talking about AI, quantum, semiconductors, chips. There's a big clash going on this, and anything bio, life, health, hacking our brains and how we work, brains and gene technologies, and applying this to medicine. This is basically what is happening, and this is basically the places where there's competition for this innovation. Okay. So this is the first idea, and I'm going to explain one more thing about innovation, and then we move into entrepreneurship. But remember, there are 3 steps today: innovation, entrepreneurship, and then we do something together, something practical. So you get something useful from today's class. So the last idea on innovation, and of course, please, you have any question, interruption, or you think you want to challenge me and say, no, I think in a different way. Yes, let me know. Happy to create the dialogue. Although I will keep on asking you things. So the question is now, okay, if what you were telling us is important and it's true, and we're talking about the virtuous cycle of innovation, do we know anything about how can we generate, how can we create this innovation? So the first step in a virtual circle? Is there any model or any theory on how innovations or even disruptive innovations are created? Can you tell us something about this? And the answer is yes. There are many models. Here I'm using the simplest one because here my purpose is not giving a class on innovation, but lecture on innovation, but giving something useful for you, so you get an understanding of what is going on and how things are moving. And this theory about how innovations are launched, are generated, is called the triple helix. Why a triple helix? You can see here the helix, because it comes when you put together, you put to work together three things. There are more complicated models, but this model is enough to understand things. In which are these three elements? So one element is the public side of things. I put here government, but means everything public. So in many cases, there's the need for public support. Without this public support, it's impossible to get things done. Example, this university that now you belong to this university, like me, is a public university, so it's publicly supported. So without that support, the university won't happen, won't be here. So this talk will be impossible, and maybe also your PhD. Maybe there will be other places, but we think we are contributing a little bit. So that's an example, but there are many others. You can use taxes to get a little bit of a break for those who innovate. So this is more attractive. Or you can also use infrastructures or regulations that are positive. And for example, like Spain now, attracting talent from other places, or trying, or new law to trying to attract talent that contributes to innovation. Many countries, many cities, they also have policies on and they are public, no, to attract this talent. I remember, for example, Shanghai wants to be a hub for innovation in 2040. So they have a policy. So this is part of the government side of things. This is number one. Number two is the private side. Private means big companies, industry. Also is the part on capital, no? Money, no? The funds to launch new ideas, no? Because probably when you have an idea of innovation, something is needed in terms of funding. No? You need money to do stuff. So this part or this side of things, big, large companies, and the fund comes from the private sector. So this is the second ingredient. And the third one, it is you. I name it here university because I'm a university guy. So I should use the university, no, as a way to explain things. But in reality, what is inside this, it is the idea of talent, human capital, new ideas that come from people. I put university, okay, but in reality it's talent, human capital. So how to generate, and this is important, how to generate innovation, how to generate disruptive innovation. So you need these three elements working together. If they don't work together, then it's very difficult. So you need even a little bit more. You need a critical mass. You need enough of these three elements to be sure that you have a chance for this innovation to happen. All right? Okay, so with this, I end the first part of the lecture today. So now we know there's a virtuous cycle of innovation. You belong to the generation, to the initial step. Yeah, government provides example, infrastructures, so support. It can be physical. So for example, I'll put an example, Ruben, so you understand that. And no, but it can be the place that is attractive. So there are parks and there's low level of pollution and it's nice in a way. Or it can be soft, like regulation. So you have incentives. Oh, see, if you start up a company in this country, in this city, you don't need to pay taxes for the next 5 years. Or I'm going to help you with this or with that. I'll put an example. Yeah, government can be not money. Money usually, it can be also some public funding. And sometimes, yes, or for example, funding but many times it's indirect. For instance, funding universities. So we are a public university, so my salary is paid by someone in the public sector, first taxes, and the taxes go to the state, to the administration, and then someone pays my salary. So in a way, if I am contributing to innovation, I'm part of this support from the government, no? In a way. I'll put an example. In Canada, the Quebec, that is one of the regions in Canada, they thought, oh, we want to be leaders in video games. So we need to attract people and ideas and new startups for video games. So you need, of course, you need people. You need the people, you need the companies, but what can we do about helping, no? or trying to convince people to come here? So they realized, for example, people in video games, they were, at the time when they launched this policy, they were not so young people. They were not people in the 20s, were more people like in the 30s. Yeah, subvention, yeah. Well, subvention, subsidies is the word in English. No? So subventions is like a Spanglish, yeah, but subsidies is the word, Luis, yeah, correct. So grants, subsidies. So they thought, oh, these people, they might have a family. It's not like you are in the 20s, that probably you are alone, but you are more in the 30s, you have a partner, or in some cases, you have even a family. So they decided, for example, this policy, and this is public support. Hey, you come, and of course, we will help you, and we will provide tax breaks and whatever. But if you have a partner, don't worry, we will find a good job for your partner. So you need to worry about that. So your partner can work in any industry. We will find a position for that person. Okay, so this is a type of intelligent, probably a smart type of policies from governments to try to attract people to a place and try to launch this virtual cycle of innovation. How? Thinking that the initial step is this triple helix, no? Trying to put together these elements and creating a critical mass. Good. But thanks for the question, Ruben. Okay, so this is innovation. Now we move. Okay, innovation, understood. What about entrepreneurship? So I'm going to provide the slides in case you're curious or whatever. Okay, so and there are more slides than the ones that I'm going to use. So, so I'm not going to cover everything in the slides, but the most important thing. The difference, the leap, no, the jump from innovation to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is also it's like taking a microscope. So we have the virtual cycle of innovation, and we have taken a microscope, and now we understand there's a triple helix going on there in the generation, and now we are going in more detail. And when we put more focus there and increase, no, the size of the things that we are seeing in this initial step, then we understand there's a very important role of individuals, people who want to launch new ideas, and startups, that is like grouping these individuals in the shape of a little company, initially a small company. These two are the basic ingredients, no? The key elements in the recipe to launch. No? It's in this triple helix. I'm looking in more detail in the part on the talent, the part on the human capital, and see what we are able to learn. Why? Because this is the objective of my talk. So you are in research, and I'm trying to explain you how this research fits innovation, and now how innovation is connected with entrepreneurship. And the connection is because of people and people group in a startup. And so in the second part, I'm going to explain you about this, what happens in entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship level. So, but don't forget the big picture. No? The big picture is this virtual circle and the triple helix. But we are now looking into more detail on, basically we start with people, and then I'll explain something about the startups, and then I'll explain how we are doing things at UPM, and with that, then we move to the third part of the talk that is a little bit practical, so you get something useful from this talk and not just ideas, although hopefully the ideas are also interesting. Okay, so I have a question for you. Next question, that is, again, you have to use a single word, just a keyword, to define entrepreneurship, which will be that word, just a single one. Problem solver, I like that. Product, so it means you want to build something new business, okay. Mesut, you are able to write long phrases. This is good. You mean you type very fast. Turn innovation to money. So yeah, you're more into money. There's also a social impact. So innovation can be for the money, can be also for quality of life, or for well-being of society, if you want. This is called typically entrepreneurship. For that is called impact or social impact. No, but sometimes you read documents or reports and talks about impact. Skills, that's interesting. We will talk about which is the role of skills. No, beginning, I see Luis, Francis, skills, problem solving. So Isabel, maybe problem solving is a type of skill. Innovation to business, I insist on the social side of things. Initiative, this is something also maybe related with the skills and something beyond the skills. Hadi, this looks like a definition: recognition of needs of people and then answer to people requests. I like that. We'll talk about that. If there's something else, so this is enough. Risks, this is new, Pamela, fantastic. Managing, that I like, shall we? This idea of managing, challenging is good also. Launch into the market business. Maybe this is startups, traction, travel, okay, so there's something related with problems, no? And problems are, as we are going to see, opportunities. All right. I'm going to explain you something important. That is my take. Initiative, yeah, Nereida. This is also very important, the idea of initiative. In fact, I'm going to talk about that. Look, according to research, now you are about 40 people in this talk. Statistically, only about 20% of you are prepared, and I'll explain what does it mean, this being prepared, to become entrepreneurs. Now, as such, of course, with the appropriate training and participating in a particular program or whatever, you can improve, no? You can increase this percentage, no? But as such, let's say psychologically, only 20% of students in a PhD program in a university that is connected with engineering and technology, like our university, is ready to become entrepreneurs. As such, because becoming an entrepreneur requires something special that I'm going to explain a little bit in a while, in a moment. Without that, you feel too risky. This was mentioned, no? Too complicated. I don't know how to begin or where to begin. No, better. I'm a little bit more conservative, so I prefer to work for a large company or work for the public sector, but not becoming an entrepreneur. This is what research is telling us. So if that will be true, giving a talk, if only 20% of you are really interested in entrepreneurship, it will be a little bit of waste of time, okay? Because I will say, okay, instead of giving a talk to every PhD student, I will say, hey, who's interested in this? And only giving a talk to those, no? And not to everybody. But I think, yeah, Farshid, exactly this. I think entrepreneurship is a different way of managing. It's a particular way of managing when typically you are confronting either lack of information, high level of risk, uncertainty. So in this sense, entrepreneurship, or the techniques, the methodologies in entrepreneurship, are useful to everybody, to all of you, not because solving a problem exactly is connected with that, not because you are going to become entrepreneurs. Only now, today, statistically, only 20% of you are really ready to become entrepreneurs. With the appropriate training, maybe the percentage can be higher, but it's still not 100%. However, for all of you, 100%, when you are confronting a situation, and this is going to happen in your personal and professional lives, where there's uncertainty, there's lack of information, there's a high level of risk, maybe the tools, the methodologies, the approach of entrepreneurship can be useful. This is why at UPM we are insisting in this type of talks, and we are insisting in having programs related with entrepreneurship. Not because all of you are going to become entrepreneurs, but because we think for all of you, the approach of entrepreneurship is going to be useful at some point in your professional life, if not in your personal life. Sorry. Okay, so remember this. Entrepreneurship, it can be seen also as a special way of management, way to solve problems when the problems are badly defined. When they are badly defined. Okay, so this is the case. So if you want a little bit of a more rounded or academic definition, here is one. And this one I like because I worked for a while in the European Commission, and it was written by one of my colleagues there. So, and I know that person. So I think it's a very good definition, and also I like the person. So the combination, it makes me use it, no? And look what it says. It's saying that entrepreneurship is acting. It's not just having ideas. All of us, we have ideas. But here we are talking about implementing, acting. And then you don't see problems. You see opportunities. So you have a mindset where you don't see problems. You see opportunities where you can act upon. And acting to do what? To transform them into value for others. This is the key. This value can be economic, but can be also social. So this is the mindset of an entrepreneur. Acting, very important. Execution, implementing, practical. Upon opportunities, you see opportunities, you don't see problems, and you want to transform that into value for others. So what do you need to be an entrepreneur? You need, of course, knowledge. A university is good at this. We are machines, no? Engines to provide knowledge. This works. Also lately, some skills. Okay, how to teamwork, how to convince, no? Talk in public and convince others, and some other skills probably, no? Languages, for example, multiculturalism, being able to understand, empathy. But there's something additional. That is the most difficult part. This part on attitude is the part that only day one, only 20% of people in a virtual room like today's, they have this attitude. You can train it, but it's a little bit more challenging than knowledge and skills. So attitude changing is changing something that is deep into you, no? It's deep in your mind. So it requires a little bit more effort to change it. But altogether, what you need is, the attitude that you need is to be a change maker. This is the key thing, becoming an entrepreneur. You need to change something. So the world, an industry, a sector, problem, how it's currently being solved, it has a particular way, particular shape, particular solution. You are going to change that. And to be able to change that, you need to be a change maker. And in general, industries, companies, the world, whatever, they don't want to be changed. So you need to be prepared to fight that, because there will be a status quo. They will say, no, I don't want to be changed. There's inertia. No, don't touch it. Don't complicate your life. Don't try. This happens in many levels. For instance, my job here at university is changing something. No, it's changing how the university is thinking or focusing on startups and entrepreneurship. And I have resistance. They tell me, come on, the university works. Why do you want to create, to launch, set up something new? But this is working. Come on, we are doing fine. We don't want to complicate your life, and you want us to do something else. So you need a special attitude. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you need the attitude of a change maker, and you need to be prepared, because there will be resistance a lot of resistance, not a little resistance. And if you want to do something that is a little bit more disruptive, then the resistance is huge, because of course no one wants to be disruptive. Okay, so this is a summary of what I was telling you. Okay, so now you understand attitude and opportunities, providing value, and being a change maker. The second concept, to try to finish with this second part, and then I'll explain also what we do at university. So you have a picture, and also you can see the opportunities. But I have another question, but it's the same idea, is if now we understand what is entrepreneurship, but in a startup, what is exactly a startup? So if you want to use a single, okay, emerging market, I see Giovanna very quick. Which is the keyword? If you can only use one to say what is a startup, which one would you say? Would you use emerging? Okay, yeah, Giovanna is perfect. If you use two, this is not mathematics, so emerging market was fine. Okay, in innovative ideas, yeah, of course it's connected with innovation. So emerging, it means something that is new, changing, new company. So I see new innovation, new emerging. All of this is revolving about the idea of new things. Okay, anything else is only fresh. Okay, also from the start. Also, you're doing something new. See, Isabel, creativity. Interesting. There's something, novelty, more new things. Anything else apart from new, creativity, fresh? Again, more new. Carmen, working on something new. But you put the working, energy. Okay, yeah. Remember the attitude. You need to be prepared to be a change maker. Without that energy, Santiago, you're right. You won't succeed. Group. Group. This is important. So it's not a single person. It's a group of persons. Why you need a group of persons? Because it will be highly improbable that just a single person has everything. Courage. Yeah, true. This is part of the attitude. Managing, so you need one. You need to understand how to manage a little bit of a group. Without that, impossible. So you need a lot of empathy and then management. Okay, more innovation, initiation. So something that starts from small and then wants to become bigger. Sustainability. Okay, that should be something in every new idea. Technology. Okay, so the difference, Carmen, the difference between a startup that is general and something with technology, especially coming from university, the word is spin-off. So startups, I will define it, what is a startup, but the spin-offs are the ones in a university setting that use technology from the university. Okay, so startups bigger, wider, and spin-offs smaller. Okay, early stage, this I like. Abdel, yeah, collaboration important there. New idea. Okay. So my definition that is using all of you were saying, and I put a couple of things. Oh. This guy here, Eric Rice, is one of the top, academicians or experts, that maybe practitioners even on a startup. He's the person behind one of the key methodologies in a startup that is called, maybe you have heard this, it's called lean startup, but I'll mention this, but I'll write it down just in case. So it's an approach and how to produce startups. I'll explain a little bit later on in more detail, but this lean startup is the, without the S, lean startup is the name of the methodology that Eric Rice developed. And it's typical, for example, we use it at UPM. We don't follow it strictly. We use it a little bit loosely in our own approach, but it's a little bit connected based with lean approach, and I'll explain later. So look, human organization. So it's several people, and this requires working with others. Yeah, of course, innovation. So it's new product or service. And this is what makes the big difference. When you don't know, you don't have a clue, extreme uncertainty, no idea, I'm lost, I don't know, I don't have customers, I don't have a market, so I know very little. I only know that this might be a good solution for something, but I have few evidence if this is the case or not. So if this is the, for me, the definition that I like the most, then in a startup is like what you're doing in your PhDs. It's an experiment. So I don't know, what should I do? I need to learn. How to learn? Doing experiments. So I'll put this and try, okay, what I'm learning, no, this is not working. This part is working. Okay, I'm going to do more of this, and I'm going to put this additional ingredient and see what happens. So in a startup, it's an experiment. In fact, the startups who succeed are the ones who are able to do the highest number of experiments, because the most important metric in a startup is the learning. It's not that you succeed or you fail, it's that you learn. If you don't learn, then something is not working. But if you learn, it doesn't matter if you fail, because with this learning, at some point you will succeed. This is why in a startup is like an experiment, because you don't know. So this is the objective, and in fact, these are the key concepts in lean startup. So you try to do the highest number of experiments, the quicker that you can, and anything that is not essential, anything that is not in the key, the core of your experiment, you forget, because you don't have resources enough to try many things. You only have time, energy, money to deal with particular the core thing about your idea, and the rest you forget, because you need to conduct an experiment to check if this is a realistic solution or not. Yeah, so Hassan, this is key. Your question is key. So lean startup is telling you, because you have limited resources, then try to be as intelligent as possible in conducting the highest number of experiments. So, for instance, I'll put an example, Hassan. Instead of fully developing your idea, no, imagine we as researchers or people pursuing a PhD, we tend to fall in love with our idea, with our research. So we end up, okay, forgetting about the rest of the world. No? We want to do it better, no? And a better prototype with nicer. But lean startup is telling you, forget, what you need is to conduct an experiment. Maybe to conduct such an experiment, you'll need a mock-up of your solution, not a real solution, but the packaging of the solution to give it to potential users so they can say, oh, this is good, or this is bad, oh, I don't want it. Or you can do, yes, technically it's called an MVP. You know what an MVP is? MVP. That is a minimum viable product. No, technically, sometimes you see this proof of concept, kind of the same concept. No, MVP is more thinking in the market. Proof of concept is more thinking about the size on the technology, but they are similar concepts in the sense that just the minimum set of functionalities that prove if this makes sense or not, and the rest, okay, then we will deal with additional functionalities. But we want to check about the core, and if someone is interested about these core functionalities. So this is the idea of doing, because the key thing is there a market for this? Is there anyone really interested? Is this solving a real problem, or this is just I was so in love with my product, with my service, with my solution that I forget about the rest? But if you want to succeed, you need that feedback. You need others to tell you if this makes sense or not. No? So it's a key question. Very good. So there are Steve Blank is the other important person. So I have here his definition, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to something else that I think is important. So which is the difference between a startup and a regular, normal, larger type of company? This one. In a regular company, they are already in the market. They have already products. And probably, and usually, they have a lot of information. They know about the market, and they know about the taste and the preferences and the demands of the customers. So, for instance, if they are producing mobile phones, maybe they know, oh, people are doing pictures all the time, no, with the phone. So instead of having only 3 cameras, what if we produce a new phone with 5 or with 6 and with higher quality and with the ability to do something else? This is why. This is because someone was in an office dreaming. No, it's because they have a lot of information from the customers, from the product, and they know how the customers are doing. So this is what usual companies do. They do innovation because they know which is the way forward. Even in that case, sometimes they fail, and sometimes they think is this, and it was not the case. But in theory, they have a lot of information. While startups, they have nothing. You don't have a market. You haven't started yet with the market. So you are in search mode. So then if you are in search mode, what do you need? You need to conduct experiments. You need to try. You need to test things. So you need people and a mindset for searching. You don't need people and mindset for executing, because you are in a different case. And in this searching, how it goes? Well, basically you are trying to, because there's a lot of risk, uncertainty, you find ways of learning as much as possible. So this is experimenting and decreasing the risk, so you increase the chances of success. You decrease uncertainty, so you know more, and then there are more chances that you succeed, that you hit the right road. No, you go in the right direction. There are many techniques these days to do this search, minimizing risk, increasing chances for success. And one of them is lean. This is lean. This is lean startup, but there are more. There are different type of canvases, product market fit. Another very popular these days is design thinking. There are many. And for instance, we use different combination because we think, okay, our paella, better to use a little bit of this olive oil with this garlic, and not everything coming from the same supplier. No? This is our own recipe at the university. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you about entrepreneurship and startup. So remember the virtuous circle of innovation, the triple helix, and now we know a little bit more about entrepreneurship, different way of managing, and a startup who's trying to search if there's really a need for that solution of a problem. But something important I need to tell you at this point. If you, and I've taught in many, and some of the best business schools in the world. Right? For many years I've been teaching at IE Business School, for instance, and I still teach in one of the best business schools in Asia. It's located in Shanghai. I do it online. So when I'm talking to people different from you, that you are basically engineers, no? Or at least you are in engineering university. Now, if I will be talking to someone in a business school, that will be it. No? They will say, okay, explain us how lean startup works or some other methodology. Okay, thanks, very good. But these methodologies, they only deal with this, with the market risk. Market risk means I don't know about the behavior of customers. So these methodologies, all of them, they are thought to decrease the uncertainty, to decrease that risk and understand the better these customers, and the better and the sooner. So doing experiments and approaching these customers and squeezing them, not extracting the information from these customers. So you change the features, you change your solution. This is technically called pivot, not changing the solution, so it adapts, is closer to the expectations, to the needs of the users. So this is how these methodologies work. They are trying to decrease market risk. But you, in general, you also have another risk. That is the technology, here is said invention, that is technology risk. It's not only market risk, it's also that the technology is probably not fully ready. In fact, you are researching on the technology, so it's still not mature enough to go to the market. So you need to deal with two types of risk, the market risk, but you need also to deal with the technology risk. And the way to deal with the technology risk is different. You need other methodologies. I cannot explain this in a business school, because in a business school, they don't understand anything about technology. They think, oh, technology is ready. I need only to go to the shelf, take off-the-shelf technology and plug it. And then my problem is about the customers. And maybe I need to hire, a CTO, a technologist to help me develop something that I don't understand, but I don't care about the technology. This is not the case in general when someone like you is doing research. Technology is not ready yet. So you also need to deal with this part. Okay, so remember that you are different from those going to a business school. You need to deal with market risk, and it's fine using lean startup, design thinking, others, but you also need to deal with technology risk, and you need a special mindset and a special understanding to deal with that part. All right, and this is why you are different and you are a little bit special. I'm going to explain you more on this. So how to deal with this part. Okay, so already covered innovation, already done with entrepreneurship, but I'm going to explain you what we do, which are the programs that you can use at your university now, at our university, on entrepreneurship, and also where we are standing. And then we move to the third part, that is something practical. Okay, give me something that I can use and in my daily life, or as a researcher, PhD student, and also connecting this with entrepreneurship. So I will explain, but before I'll explain you what we do. So for this explanation, let's suppose that you want to not only do research, but you are interested in this research going to the market. Remember, not only generation, but you are also interested in potential innovation coming from your research, also in dissemination and ultimate adoption. Okay, well, let's suppose this. So how can you do it? There are basically 4 ways. Dealing with very technology new product or technology challenging, yes. Joanna, I'll answer your question because it's very important. Yeah, basically, these cases of startups, they don't come from a business school. So the startups who are using the latest technology and they are trying to do this generation of innovations, they are trying, even typically with technology, many times you try to disrupt, to really do a dramatic change, something really deep, profound, it's changing. They don't come from business school because they don't have the knowledge in technology. So they are unable to understand where the technology is standing and how to progress, how to move forward in technology. So these type of startups come from places like this university. Of course, they deal with that, but you don't see that type of startups in business school. In business school, you see another Groupon, another Facebook, another Globo, another, but not with technology, not with the new material for planes, so they can fly in useless gas. The knowledge to do that in composite materials is not in business school. They don't have a clue, and it's too late for them to explain. Okay, maybe they can be managers, so you can hire them in your technology startup, so they can be even the CEOs, but they won't understand the thing. They won't understand the technology. They won't understand the part on the market. Okay, so how to transfer the research into the market? So there are basically 4 ways, and I want you to understand if you are interested into this. The first is don't do anything, because you research and then you publish, So it might be that the results of your research is published in a place or in a report, and someone will read it, and someone will apply that to practical problem. So you will be the fathers and mothers of something, but not because you are pursuing that, not because you are pushing in that direction. It's simply because it happened. No? Because you were following the rules of science, the rules of open science, of cooperation, collaboration. Possibility number one. Possibility number two, that is, for example, the one that is most used in a university like our university, is working through a contract for a particular company or institution. Probably some of your PhDs are part of that. So that someone in your research group has signed a contract with someone, with a company or an institution, to try to solve a particular problem. In that case, you are not trying to disseminate, or you are not looking for the adoption. You are simply solving a problem of someone. Okay, then maybe this someone acquires the solution and maybe extend it, or just use it for that particular problem that is my own problem. It is not the problem of many. It's just my problem. Okay, but this is also a way to go to the market. Although in this case, you go just through a single company or institution. A third way is, whatever you're researching, you can try to package that research into some type of intellectual property. Intellectual property is a way of writing with your ideas how to solve something, how to do something new. But you don't plan to develop any company. You only want to license that package of intellectual property for others to use it. That is creating a license. Can be a patent, or can be something else. No, it can be code that you have registered, or something, or a combination of both things. But you don't want to do it on your own or with others. You prefer just to, okay, here it is. I sell it to you. I license, technically, I license to you. So I will have some royalties. So part of, if you are using this, so every time that you use it, I'll receive a little bit of money. And if you use it a lot, maybe I receive a lot of money. But I don't want to know anything about how the business goes, and if it's expensive or is cheap, or if it's packaging, or is using to this or into that. Not my problem. It's your problem. I only want a little bit, some fees, some royalties from using my IP. And the fourth way, the one that I'm going to try to explain you a little bit more, is when your research, yes, you want to put it at the core of one of these startups, spin-offs, and try to see if you are able to grow that company, no? And scale it up, make it really big. So this is the fourth approach, and this is the approach I'm going to explain you, the fourth one. I already mentioned the difference between a startup and a spin-off. And a startup is rather general, and a spin-off in a university setting is when you are using technology that you have developed at university. So because now you are doing your PhD at UPM, and if you are launching a company related with your research, you are in the case of a spin-off. If you are launching, I don't know, a shoe shop or a cafeteria, then it can be a startup, no? But not related with your research at university. But if it's related with research at the university, more properly, we are talking about a spin-off than a startup. It's a subset of the whole set of startups. Okay. So this is the possibilities, and I'm going to focus on the last one. Why the university is interested in entrepreneurship? There are some obvious answers. I'm going to answer this myself, no? Because I prefer to save your energy for the little exercise we are going to do together, no? in a moment. There are obvious answers. For instance, if we launch spin-offs or startups from university, we will create jobs, and good jobs in many cases, because it will be engineering jobs, so better paid than a regular job. And also, we can have an impact in the economy, growth, or we can have an impact in society, so better society, higher quality of life. Okay, so these are the usual suspects, the usual reasons, but there are others, and two of the others. So you think also, I'm trying to also make you think in a different way. One is employability. If you go out of the university and you want to be hired by a company, a smart company will ask you, hey, what do you know? And you will say, hey, well, I have a degree on this, master on that, and a PhD on that subject. Okay, how interesting. And then you will say, and also I try a startup, a spin-off on this, and I fail or I succeed, or this happened to me. And a smart company will tell you, hey, tell me more. Because that experience, that practical experience on a startup and a spin-off, smart companies know that this has provided a lot of interesting experience to you, and this is very similar to what you are going to confront, what you are going to find in a typical job. So the chances of being hired will increase. So this is one of the key reasons why UPM is interested in entrepreneurship, in practical experience in entrepreneurship, because the employability increases. Nowadays, UPM is in the top 100, so the best 100 universities in the world in terms of employability. And we know entrepreneurship is a key ingredient in that. It's a key constituent. So when employers from the best multinationals all over the world, they look for graduates, they say, hey, you come from UPM, I'm interested. So we know that providing practical hands-on experience on entrepreneurship, not just a talk, but practical experience, will make a difference and will help us to keep this very high profile of employability. So this is one. And another reason is a word that is popular also these days, that is being resilient or resiliency. What is that? It's actually confronting difficulties, being able to survive to difficulties. Remember what I said, entrepreneurship is exactly providing you methodologies, tools, approaches when there's risk, lack of information, uncertainty. So exactly the type of tools that will make you more resilient. So we think professionally and personally, having a practical experience on entrepreneurship will make you more resilient. I can tell you, after my experience, 4 years, really difficult, there were really, really difficult days in a company, was able to grow relatively big, medium size, and dealing with that problems. I learned so many things that in many other cases, I say, okay, these are all small problems compared to the problems we used to have. When you need to pay because of your work, there are people, their salary depends on your work. Then this makes you think in a different way. So as I was trying to explain it, there are other reasons beyond the obvious. Then you have the obvious that I know. All right, so what I told you, I'm going to explain you which are a little bit where we are standing and which chances do you have to use our university if you want to know more or to work a little bit in entrepreneurship, innovation, and startups. These are our figures, maybe even a little bit better than this, because I need to update the slide, but we have 20 years of experience in programs related with entrepreneurship. We have launched maybe now more like almost reaching 350 startups and spin-offs. We launch about 20 every year, more or less. And the interesting thing is when we check what has happened to these startups, typically in the first 3 years, 80% of the startups die. They disappear in 3 years. But in our case, when we check what happens after 5 years, 60% are still in the market. Why? Well, because we think we do it with care, and those who are not ready, we try to say, hey, you are still not ready, maybe think it twice. Different from a business school, our programs are slow. For example, our main program for startups that is going to be launched now, and you can still join. I'll explain that in a moment. It lasts from March until December. It's a slow program. You go to a business school and they say, now we launch startups in 2 months. It's already done. Yeah, but which is the quality of that type of startups? No, we prefer to do it step by step, carefully, to be sure that the ones who reach the end, they are really good. And in fact, this is happening. And the other reason is because they have technology. And because they have technology, maybe they don't do the scale up they were thinking. They were thinking in becoming big in that direction. But still they have technology, so it is useful for someone in the market. So they are still working in the market. And now maybe our portfolio of startups raises every year, just in a small, when a startup you have basically 2 stages, the startup and the scale up. In terms of capital, in the startup phase, you use first your own money, then maybe business angels, and then you use it is called seed funding or early stage funding. And typically maybe you need at that stage, at the end of the startup phase, you need maybe, and technically it's called tickets. You need tickets of 100K, 200K, 500K, no? Euros or dollars, no? More or less the same. And then in the scale up is when you enter into real venture capital and you are in series, no? First series is 1 or few millions euros. This is series A, and then B, C, D. Well, depends on the life of the startup. So this figure is only in the small tickets, in early stage seed funding. We have a number of companies that are already in series, and some of them are about to become unicorns. Although I don't think the unicorn metric is so important, but some of them they are about to become. Some of the companies and this portfolio coming from our programs are about to become unicorns. Okay, so these are main figures, and here you have how good and how fantastic we are. I'm not going to stop and maybe just one here. In Spain there are currently 10 unicorns more or less, and there will be another 20 that will become unicorns in the next 2 years. No? In total there will be 30 companies who are unicorns or about to be a unicorn. A unicorn is a company valuation beyond 1,000 million euros or dollars. So out of these 30, 6 are connected with UPM. So we can say we do have a role in the entrepreneurial innovation ecosystem in Spain, and basically we do it in 3 stages. Stage number 1, that is education, and also evangelization, no? A little bit like today. So we do also longer courses explaining how this works, many things. Then step number 2, we have 2 programs, this one and this one. One program is for startups, so anyone who wants to launch a startup. And this other program is UPM 2T. 2T is because it's tech transfer. This is a program specific for spin-offs. And you're welcome to join any of them. They are free. If you are qualified, you need to apply, and we need to check. But if you qualify, we are more than happy. Both of them are in English, so there shouldn't be any problem with you. This is open until 21st March. Okay, so until next week, you can apply. This is we give prices up until I think is 45,000 euros altogether. So okay, we put also some carrots, no? Along the way to motivate you. So you're interested to participate, it's still open, application easy to locate, Actua UPM. And UPM2T is a shorter program, and it starts typically after the summer. It starts at the end of September, and it lasts September to December, because it's a shorter, more focused program on spin-offs. In this one, we deal with market risk and a little bit of technology risk. And in this one, we deal mostly with technology risk and a little bit with market risk. So they are a little bit complementary, in a way. So you can also participate in both. Many people in technology, they start with UPM-2T and then 2T, and then they come to Actua to have a more rounded view. This is also typical view. Well, and we have more programs. We have programs to send you to, I don't know, example. It's not in this list, but we have a program to send entrepreneurs, innovators to Shanghai, because we have an incubator there, and we are launching something similar in Boston, and many others. We have also an accelerator for companies. They already set up as a company, so they can stay a little bit with us, and we can help them. This is the Actua UPM, as I was telling you, it's still open until 21st March. So you only need to check and join if you're interested. Typically, and these are the figures from last years, typically we receive every year about 500, 400 applications. We check them and we keep 300 to 200. So we tell you in April, and also we give some prices for the best ideas in April, and then slowly we go until summer and stay with us about 150, 200 ideas. In these months, we ensure that the idea is solid enough and is coherent and everything makes sense. And then in the final stretch, 70, 50, 40, we help you to reach this finish line. So then you can decide if you become a startup or not. But you have all the elements. You can explain investors, you can tell about the market, you are able to have reach agreement with potential customers, suppliers, everything. And from this 50, whatever, is where 20 startups are launched every day. And then also you have here in a slide about the UPM-2T, the tech transfer program and how it works, but I'm not going to start this. And every year we deal with about 30 technologies, more or less. So this typically in UPM tech transfer program, you don't apply as a person, you apply as part of a research group, because it's about technology. It's not about an idea exactly. It's about how to make the technology more mature and then package the technology in a spin-off. This is the idea of the program. All right, so this was the end of the second part, with also some explanations about the opportunities in UPM. More than happy, if you are interested, you can reach me or you can reach any of the persons in my team about these opportunities, and happy to help you. And now for the third part, the practical part, that I'm going to drink a little bit of my tea. I'm a little bit Chinese, so I need to drink tea all the time. Okay, so something practical and a little bit of an exercise for you, if you want to try and also get the certificate or the credits or whatever. Let's suppose that you're interested in what I was telling you. So you are researchers, you are researching, say, this idea of being an entrepreneur and startup, okay, looks interesting. So, okay, where can I start? How can I start? What should I do the first thing? So this is the checklist. Which are the first steps? I'm not going to use, but I have put you the whole, the full steps, from, although maybe without guidance, without some mentorship, it will be difficult to do it. But I put everything in 10 steps. Although now I'm only going to mention very briefly the first steps. This 1, 2, a little bit of the third step. And we are going to do an exercise about this. Very quick, so you have an understanding, or at least a glimpse of what is this about. So first important idea. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you should fall in love not with your solution. You need to fall in love with the problem you want to solve. This is very important idea. So you need to be sure that this is a real problem. As they say in the jargon of entrepreneurship startup, it's a real pain. So there's someone out there that is, it hurts to someone. So someone is feeling hurt because of something, because of this pain, and they are desperately looking for a solution. So you need to understand if this is the case. And the only way to do this is falling in love, not with your solution, falling in love with the problem, understanding the details of this pain, how this pain works, and how can you do, what is possible to do to try to relieve people with suffering with this pain. Okay, so this is step number one, and I'm going to explain you a practical tool. And then you need to check which are the people with that pain, with that problem. Are there many? Who they are? Where they live? And are they really interested or not? Okay. Can you access them, for instance, or too far and they are separated from each other, scattered around, and very difficult to reach them? Whatever. So step number one is problem, and step number two is who are really interested in or who are really suffering this pain. And then step number three, I didn't write down here your solution. Look, I put value, because before your solution comes the value that you're providing. Then the solution is the way to use technology to provide such a value. But the important thing is the value. The value is the way you are relieving this pain, how you are contributing to make the life of that people better, or making it more efficient, whatever. This is the value they're providing, and then details are the solution. Okay, but in the right approach, first you should check about the value. Although we are going to more discuss this problem here and this customer here. Okay, so this is what I'm proposing you. I'm going to explain you a very simple tool, and this is your work, and we can be together until 7 here in Madrid time, and working together in this. And I will be listening to you in the WeChat or talking to you, as answering questions. And this is also what you need to upload in this Google Drive. No, and I put the link. Is up, no, in this chat. You can check it up there, no. So, and also please, if also anyone can again cut and paste the link and put it here, so more convenient for everybody. So you only need to upload something very simple, not nothing complicated. And this also very simple approach is the same basics that you need to upload if you want to apply for Actua OPM. So I'm trying to in Spanish we say kill several birds with a single stone, but I'm not sure this is English. No, but then you understand what I mean. No, with a single working just once, we are trying to address several things at the same time. So with this simple tool, you can get the certificate, the credits, but also you can use it as the basics, the foundation to applying to the Actua OPM. Okay, and also all of this within the time limit of 7. Which tool are we going to use? Something that is called DNA. So DNA means the foundations of a startup, the basics, and we want these foundations to be very solid, to be really sure that this makes sense. And if the foundations are solid enough, then it's easier to build your idea or your company, or and trying slowly improving from that foundations. So which foundations? Very simple. So this is what I am asking you. So think about your research. Well, you want to use something else, it's fine, but typically it will be your research. So departing is your research, but I want to think about your research in a different way. And first, I want you to express that research in terms of a problem. Which problem are you solving? So this is first part that we need. This is this is the first thing that you need to upload. Number one, you depart from your research. Issue number one, which is the problem that you are solving? You need to be very specific. So trying to help in recycling plastic bottles. Now, this is the problem, because people, they throw the plastic bottles out of the window. But I want to help in making this recycling of plastic bottles better. Okay, this is the problem you're solving, because it's important for the environment, for sustainability, whatever. Okay, saves money for the industry, whatever you want. This is the problem, number one. Number two, who's got that problem? Who is your customer? And you need to think, who are your customers? In this same example that I was using with recycling plastic bottles, is the city councils? Are the customers themselves? Are the companies who are providing these recycling machines and putting these recycling machines or dustbins in the streets, or some other, or all of them together? Which are your customers? Which are the ones who have this problem? And number three, here I wrote solution, but I prefer value, but it's okay. If you want to write it in terms of solution, is fine. But basically, with your approach, what is different? What makes the life different for your customers? So now I have a system with AI that automatically sees with cameras the user when the user is approaching with a plastic bottle, and shouts at him, say, "Hey, don't put that in that dustbin. The correct one is the green one. Hey," whatever. Okay, this is the value you're providing. Something that in this case ensures that 100% of the plastic bottles go in the right container. Fine. Okay. With the solution is the technology, and then for that I will use AI and a camera and then loudspeaker, and then the information will reach the police, and the police will appear and put a fine on you if you do it wrong. Whatever. That's the solution. So it's fine if you stay in the value. Okay, but this is what I want from you, and this is also the basics, the foundations of any startups. This is also what you need to think if you would like to apply to Actua PM and pursue and follow up with trying to become at some point, in months' time, a super successful startup as one of the startups in our program. Okay, clear enough. Hopefully, I was able to explain. Yeah, Ruben. Yeah, to Google Drive. That is, the link is a little bit up in the chat. In fact, if someone takes the link in a slide, whatever, can be a slide, text, can be anything. I don't care. You can record the video of you explaining. Yeah, this is Asia. Thanks so much for putting the link. It can be in any format. What we need is your name. Don't forget to put in your name, because if not, we are lost. You put the name in the name of the file that you upload. Our life will be easier. We need to open the file and look in an obscure place. Who are you? Then our life will be a little bit more complicated. But okay, that also wouldn't be a problem. So try it, because there's still 15-20 minutes to go, and I will be around, listening to questions or discussions, or don't be afraid also to share. Only these steps? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. In the slides, you will see there are more. I think it's up to 10, everything. But although I think it will be difficult without some explanation to be able to use them, although you can check in Wikipedia or in web pages, probably maybe you are able to do it. This is what Actua PM will help you. will take you from this foundation. We are asking for the foundation that you have more or less an idea that makes some sense. And this is what we are asking you. Okay, so we are checking. Does it make sense? Making sense means it's a real pain. There are really customers, and the value looks like a value. Okay, then you are in. And then we will, if you join us, we will take you slowly, and you will decide if you have the energy, the attitude, remember, to be a change maker and launch a startup. But we will guide you slowly from now, from April, that is when we start, until the end of November, where we have the big ceremony, big celebration with big prizes, the rector, and we usually bring important guests, successful entrepreneurs from UPM, and that will give a key talk, a keynote speech explaining the stories. We give also some prizes like the Oscar to the best career, these type of things, and we enjoy that, and it's a fun day. Yes, 1, 2, 3, Hassan. When is the deadline? So it can be a Word, can be a PPT, can be PDF, can be a video, can be a TikTok link, can be whatever you want. So anything. Deadline, I was thinking, so you can do it now. We are not looking for perfection. So you want perfection, join Actua PM, and then we will strive together for perfection. Here we are looking just that you have understood this. So my advice is do it before 7 in the afternoon, evening in Madrid time, and done. And your life will be easier. Silencio network. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. So you want to do it because you have other commitments? Yeah. We can wait. Let's say this week, no? Sunday. As I said, there should be something that you do 15 minutes because your research you do, and it's only changing the perspective. Instead of looking into your research, looking outside. So who's going to use your research? Okay, fantastic. Let me check. I'm going to check Silencio. I'm interested into this. Fantastic. Yeah, nice. Congratulations, because it looks like something interesting. To join, Hassan, to join Actua, you might have an already a company or a project. It doesn't matter. I mean, because maybe you got some additional understanding, or you can maybe wait until further stages. We also have an incubator, and if you are interested in also using UPM to support you in this incubation phase, that is also compatible with any other, and is free, and you can also talk to us if you think we can help you. This is something that you need to decide. But congratulations, it looks super good, and I think it's an important issue. All the noise. So good. Yeah, Luis, for example, okay. Municipal waste management cycle, okay, problem. Okay. Municipalities will be users. Okay, well. So that is to get Luis, for example, this is perfect. To get the certificate credits, fine. You want to think more in a perspective on a startup, then probably requires some tuning. Now, for instance, the problem, okay, evaluating the impact with waste management in the pre-collection, collection, transport stages. Yeah, probably this is too big a problem, and for a startup, it would be better to think from these problems. For example, there are problems in pre-collection, collection, transport stages, which is more pressing, and maybe there are more details there. Yeah, this is this is, but you want support from my team, because as I might have time to answer you, but not always. This is the generic address. So it's in Spanish, no? Creation of companies, creación de empresas. This is several people will check that email. Well, if you write to me, it's only me, and I you cannot imagine how many emails, important emails, I receive every day. So I'm not fully trustable. You want to reach me. Sometimes it's even better to try to reach me in LinkedIn or shout at me in a different ways. That not in an email. Sometimes I do answer emails, but not always. I cannot promise. So you want to be sure that some of the people in the team answer you, better use the other one. And then coming back to Luis, so as I was telling, so it's fine for this exercise, perfect, done. So put it in a text file, upload it, and you're done. But you want to start up, so maybe it requires a little bit of more thinking, no? Exactly, you can be more precise on the problem, and which part is the most pressing, where's the pain, and from that pain, who's really suffering the pain, no? And because if not, the public administration looks too vague, no, too generic, and difficult to know how to deal with them, no? And then value, okay, management tools to do whatever, okay. This is and these management tools are different from the rest because they will be more easier, more convenient, they will extend this. Okay, that's the value you're providing, no? Compared to existing. Okay, fantastic. So Ruben, you're free. Yeah, Hassan, yeah. In the incubator, in the incubation, yeah, we can put you in contact with funds. Yes, this is the type of things that we do. Yeah, this is more in the incubation phase. You can use that the address I put above, or talk to Elena or Jimena directly, and they will. I will put a couple of. These are the persons in my team dealing with this part. Elena will deals with the incubation, and Jimena with Actua PM. And if you want to talk about something that is closer to technology, so the program UPM Tech Transfer, it will be Ivan. Okay, so Elena, incubation, Jimena, Actua, and Ivan, UPM Tech Transfer program, so more technology and how to decrease this technology risk. Okay, so your emails is fantastic, but I'm not sure if I can use it in any way. This is not. I was not trying. Not. Okay. Everybody put the email. No, I was trying to put the emails of people you can contact if you are interested in doing anything related with entrepreneurship, and you don't want to risk that I never answer you because sometimes I'm too busy. I'm sorry for that, but it's real, no? So you don't need to put the emails. I was putting the emails to help you, but you don't need to put the emails. It was just me, not you. You are in ITU, Mesut. Fantastic, fantastic university. Very good friends there. Yeah, and also you have a fantastic incubator, accelerator. Yeah. No, you don't need to write emails. No, it was me, the only one who was writing the emails to help you, but you don't need to write the emails. Thanks, Nadia, and to help. Chaos. Yeah, but you see, not always you succeed. This is difficult to manage people. Huh? This is a serious problem. Serious problem with a startup. Yeah, I created chaos with email. You don't need to write email. I'm going to write that. You don't need to. Okay. Yeah. Okay, but Isabel, please, your name is somewhere inside the mysterious text file. Yes. Should you put your name? Okay. Okay. Oof, we are lucky. But I'm completely sure that the guys at Google, they have thought of ways of changing the name of a file. I'm completely sure that they won't be able to launch a Google Drive without the users being able to change the name of the file. I'm completely sure. Okay. All right, Isabel. We will put you in our blacklist of those who make us work a little bit more. You owe us a beer, especially for the ones who are going to check the names. So, or a coffee. I don't know. Maybe people who don't drink anything, huh? Or a tea like me. All right. So fantastic. We've done many things. I explained you about innovation. I explained you about entrepreneurship, what we are doing at UPM, and even we got time to practice a little bit so you understand the foundations on how to start with a company, an idea that goes in the direction of a company. So super success, fantastic. I'm very happy. And we are still 38 people. Okay. I'm going to try to stop the recording because probably it's time to stop the recording. So they should be here.